What is going on, everybody? It's Tunnel Nut here, aka Ryan. I am a 23-year-old from Ontario, Canada. I have tunnel vision. I was diagnosed with RP, retinal pigmentosis, at a very young age. I'm here to talk about everything Canucks. This is my Canucks Den, and I kind of want to introduce myself. We'll do a little bit of, where this channel, my hopes with it, and everything is. So let's get right into it. And so we got a few things that I kind of want to talk about. And then, so first things first is I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about how I got into hockey and where my passion from it stems and what it is today. So as a young man, I remember going to local OHL games with my grandpa and going over to his house pretty much every weekend to watch the game, and it kind of made me fall in love with hockey. And he wasn't really an NHL person, but on the side of watching the OHL, I was also watching the NHL because it was kind of this passion that I was starting to grow. My 7th birthday, I met the goalie that won the Stanley Cup with the Toronto Maple Leafs, Johnny Bower. That was a really cool experience for me. And so I met Johnny Bower, and I'm really starting to like hockey. I'm really into the OHL team that we'd go see. And, I'm really kind of fallen in love. So I start watching hockey, mainly the Toronto Maple Leafs, because that was on in my area was the Toronto Maple Leafs. And how I fell in love with the Canucks. So I met Johnny Bower, and I really started, watching NHL a little bit more, because it's a cool experience to get to hold a Stanley Cup ring, and it kind of intrigued me. So I started watching more. As a very young man, I was very interested in hockey, and it kind of started from there. And I remember I was watching a game. It was Toronto versus the Vancouver Canucks. And obviously, like back in this time, you got the Sundin twins playing, Luongo's in net, and it's a crazy team. So I'm watching this game, and I am amazed by Luongo, by the Twins, and I started kind of specifically watching them. I wouldn't call myself a fan yet. I was a little bit more of, I was just really interested in hockey, but I was a fan of the OHL team, and I wasn't really into the NHL yet. But I was starting to watch more Vancouver games and watching Toronto games, pretty much just watching anything to do with hockey. We'd watch Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, Ottawa, all those Canadian teams, and we'd watch them. And it was kind of like you were just kind of watching anything hockey related. But I had something special for the Canucks because I loved Luongo, and I loved watching the Twins play. And you had Edler and Burr and all those guys that were on that team at the time, and they kind of made me fall in love with the team. So as the years went on, I became a very passionate and loyal Canucks fan, as I am today, and started watching them pretty much religiously. Every game I can, I watch it. So that's kind of how I fell in love with hockey, because of my grandfather, who is now passed, but I'm still very much in love with it, and I still watch it every day. And for you guys that also are in love with hockey, obviously, this year's been a tough year for the Canucks. A bit of a rough start with injuries, and the things circling around Vancouver of what's going to happen with Hughes, or there was a lot of stuff last season with Pettersson and Miller, and we didn't really know which direction the team was going to go, and they chose to go with Petey and trade Miller to New York. So there's a lot of stuff on this channel that I want to dive into and kind of talk about, and kind of get your guys' opinions too on what what has happened with the Canucks and, you know, where our future is. So the one thing that I want to mention, so I have a Canucks Den, as you guys can see. There's a lot of Canuck stuff, and then we got the Canadian flag over there. I also have some cards over there, hockey cards, and there's a whole setup to this room that I will show in a later video, and we'll kind of go over. I also play NHL. I don't know if you guys are interested in me doing kind of like voiceovers, so of those games, and then I talk, or if you guys much rather it like this. I'm kind of new to the whole YouTube thing a little bit. I used to do YouTube gaming back in the day, but this kind of YouTube I'm new to. So if you guys let me know what you guys want to see or how I can make these better, you guys let me know. If you guys like the face-to-face and you guys want me to talk like this, and we can totally do that. So let's kind of like jump into something and get talking about some Canucks hockey, shall we? So my favorite player, as you can see by my jersey, is Elias Pettersson. I've always loved PD. I think he is an amazing player. Obviously, he had his downfalls last year and didn't really produce for the Canucks. That was difficult to watch. But I've had this jersey for a few years. I got it when we were in the bubble. 2020, I believe I got it. I just graduated high school at that time. And I was watching a lot of hockey, obviously, because of COVID. When the bubble came to be, it was pretty much all I was doing was sit down and watching the hockey games. I have a Luongo jersey that is over there. I will show that in maybe a later video. And I got some cool hockey cards and stuff. And I kind of want to go over different things in regards to hockey with you guys. And we don't just have to talk about the Canucks. Obviously, that's my team. But I kind of want to talk, you know, about the whole league in a sense. We'll dip back into time and go over some things that the Canucks have done in the past, and, you know, I'll kind of give you guys my 2 cents on it. We'll talk about any trades that come up or, you know, that could be coming up, and I'll do my best to keep you guys in the loop with everything to do with the Canucks. And last thing that I want to talk about in this little introduction video is why the name and what made me choose the name. So like I told you guys, I am 23 years old. I was diagnosed with RP, retinal pigmentosis. There's a lot of strands of RP. I'm pretty sure there's hundreds of different strands. And I, unfortunately, my family's gene is a very rare form of RP. Very aggressive. So I have tunnel vision and had it pretty much my whole life. And there are challenges that come with having tunnel vision that we'll go over in a later video. But essentially, because of the tunnel vision, I wanted to throw something in with vision and kind of like give you guys what I'm going to call it is the tunnel perspective on the Canucks, a more in-depth, you know, deeping dive into the stats and everything of the Canucks and the players, and really get into everything news related with them and kind of share my thoughts. So like I said, let me know how you guys want to see the videos, if you guys want to see them like this, or if you guys would like me to do game overlays of NHL. I will be posting some videos of NHL. If gaming's not exactly your thing, then stick to these. Because if you guys would rather see the Canucks talks and the Canucks news and stuff like this, I will do them like this, and then I'll do the NHL game a little bit separate, and maybe we'll do that one a little bit more laid back. And I don't so much, you know, talk about the stats and everything. I just kind of talk more about that game, and we kind of have some fun on there. And it'll be a way for me to interact with you guys, the community, as, you know, we go through this journey together. So this is the first introduction video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed coming up with the idea and setting up the YouTube channel and everything. There's still a few things that I have to do to change it from my old gaming days to have it fully hockey related. I have a Twitter, so it is Tunnel Nuck on Twitter. Go over there and follow me on Twitter. I pretty much share, well, I guess it's not called Twitter anymore. I don't know why I'm calling it that. X, follow me on X. I share everything hockey related. So if you guys want to give me a follow on there, that'd be amazing too. And so I think that's how I'm going to leave this first video. This is kind of the introduction to the channel. I want to welcome everybody. And if you guys have any questions for me, hockey related or vision related, because I kind of, we'll kind of dive into a video about the whole vision thing too later on, but mainly hockey related, leave them down in the comments below. Hit that sub button so that you don't miss any of my videos that come out related to the Canucks or the NHL. I hope you guys are having an amazing start to your week. Happy Monday, everybody. And I will catch you tomorrow with the first episode. Have a good one, guys.